Today, we are talking all about this Aquarius new moon in sidereal astrology. My friend, this new moon is all about leading yourself through the instability, through the uncertainty. Now, we are in Aquarius season, and Aquarius brings us that beautiful visionary energy. Now, you're going to see that there are two main aspects that are really shifting the energy with this Aquarius new moon, and that is Uranus, who is bringing some disruption as Uranus loves to do, and Chiron, who is bringing some identity level healing, my friend. Together, all of this is asking us, this new moon is, can you expand without losing yourself? My friend, let's dive into everything about this new moon and how to work with it, how to lead yourself through it, because this one is a good one, my friend. So, if we have not met, hello, my name is Danny Simonis. I am the creator of this channel of Sacred CEO, and I can't wait to tell you some new things that are coming in this collective energy. So, this new moon is all about bringing our leadership, our conscious leadership, under tension. It's creating that tension for us, which we all need, right? We need to feel the tension to do something about it, right? If everything just feels okay, it's like, okay, we're just moving along. But when we get that tension that comes in, it's like, oh, I got to do something. So, with this one in particular, Aquarius being that visionary, Uranus, who we're going to talk about in a second, is actually, first off, Aquarius's planetary ruler. So, this is really amplified energy here. It is making a square to this moon. So, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so y'all can see what I'm talking about. But I also want to remind you as I'm tooling this up that we have this both on the podcast and on the YouTube channel. So if you want to see the charts of this particular new moon and see the entire, connections, the aspects, everything that's happening, then definitely come on over to YouTube where you can find that. Links are down below. And if you're on the podcast, if you just want to listen to this, if you want to just hear me talk about this information, then there is the podcast version of this that is audio only. So you can take me on the go, whatever it is that you're doing, and hear about this new moon that is taking place, my friend, on February 17th, 6:01 a.m. Okay, let's get into this. So, as you can see, we have our new moon right here. I'm going to go ahead and strip it away just to see what the new moon is connecting with. Now, first off, we see what I mentioned just a minute ago, which is Uranus, who happens to be in Taurus. And we also see Chiron here, who happens to be in Pisces. Now, Uranus is making this square, and Chiron is making this sextile. So, Uranus, as we mentioned earlier, is what's called squaring the moon. This is a square. And whenever we have a square, right, there's some tension here. With Chiron, this is a sextile, and a sextile is more of a supportive energy. And so it's here to really offer the support as we integrate. So, how do we bring this all together? The translation here, my friend, is the vision is here. And yet, your nervous system has got to catch up, right? We want the next thing. We want to take ourselves to the next level. We want, right, the next, whatever that is for you, whatever your next level is, whether that's money, whether that's in a position, whether that's in your soul purpose and calling. We can't build that next version of ourselves or that next level for ourselves with the same nervous system patterns, with the same belief systems that we had to build the current one. Those fit for the current one. They are not, right? What got you here can't get you there. You've heard that before. This is the same idea here. And this particular new moon is calling that out. My friend, this is where we do the work this season. Okay, so we have this tension here, which is creating this tension between, let me break this all down, between our vision, which is the moon here in Aquarius, and Taurus, which is our stability. So our vision and our sense of stability, there's some friction here. Aquarius is like, I see the potential, I see the possibility, I see where we're going. And Taurus is like, well, do we have a plan? Are we good? Like, do we got some stability here? Do we feel secure in this? Do we feel okay in this? And so there's tension. You're feeling, I am ready for something bigger. I am ready to call this in, right? We've got our, as we shift in the lunar new year, right? We have our lunar new year and we're shifting into the fire horse, right? The fire horse energy. And it's like, okay, I'm ready. Like we've done all this work, all this last year, this 9 year, we're in this 1 year, we're ready to move forward, but there is some uncertainty. But we are not quite clear, right, on everything. Our body might be tight. My friend, this is where we are in a transition, and how I'm going to frame this, a leadership transition, because we have been leading ourselves in a certain way and we see the vision for where we want to go. But that old version of us wants that stability, wants that safety. And so we are in a transition. So this square is actually saying, hey, this growth that you want, it's going to disrupt everything you know. This growth that you're asking for is going to make you uncomfortable. And we know, my friend, as you know, because I know you, you are a conscious leader. You're here doing the work. You're learning about this stuff. You're learning about you doing the most important work there is. We know the importance of regulating ourselves, regulating our nervous system, regulating our emotions, right? Having emotional mastery. That is the key to making sure that we are staying grounded, that we are adjusting on the identity level while we expand. So we're going to ground the energy while we are evolving, my friend. So our nervous system doesn't get crazy and is like, okay, hold on, right? We're going to do this. And it's almost as if it's like bracing. It's like that gripping. And then it's like, okay, I can't do this anymore. And it lets go. And we resort right back to the old thing. That, my friend, is what ends up happening when we don't allow ourselves to expand with our growth, to make sure that we are grounding ourselves in, that we are stepping into the new identity, that we're clearing out any of the old gunk so that we can step into this new version and this new expansion, right? We've got to get everything lined up as we move forward. It all works together, or else we revert back and we're like, wait, I was on a roll. I was doing good. Why did I just revert back? So now we do have some support with this. So let's talk about the support that we have with, I said earlier, this sextile with Chiron, because this is a very, very supportive energy. And this is an opportunity, right? This is giving us some of that stability. It's giving some of that support that we're probably going to need. So Chiron does govern our wounds. And so as we're looking at this in particular, and we're talking about this identity shift that we're having to make, or this shift in belief systems, right? Our identity creates our belief, creates our emotions, creates our actions, creates our results, right? We go through all of that, starts with that identity. So our wounds that have really created or formed our identity, that's what Chiron really governs and kind of oversees. So things that you might say to yourself, which are things like, am I too much? Am I enough? Am I the one to lead this, right? Am I allowed to take up some space? This new moon is like, hey, my friend, your wounds have shaped your perspective. Your wounds have given you this capacity, right? The healing that you're doing has expanded you and given you that capacity to hold more, to have more insights. So your integration, right, is shaping your leadership. It's shaping how you are moving, your identity, how you're moving forward. You are meant to integrate it all, right? We all have missions, we all have visions of what we desire, of what we see for our calling, our purpose, whatever that might be. We're here to integrate all of that. The part of you that maybe once felt not enough or didn't have the qualifications, that is that soul like wounding here. But the woman you had to become because of those patterns, those beliefs, those situations, maybe even, right? You learned to survive in them. She built a lot of strength, my friend. Now you get to build from integration, not the protection that you once needed, not the survival that you once needed, but the integration, the grounded, stabilized version of you who is moving through the change this way and can move through any change in this way. My friend, I'm telling you, one of the biggest lessons that I have learned in my life is how to move through change. If something I think about, something were to happen in my world that completely shifts everything for me, I'm like, okay, like, I know how to move through change grounded. I know how to make the decisions. I know how to set the vision. I know the steps to take. I know where I can block myself. I know what to do from a grounded place where I'm not like, holy shit, my world is just turned upside down. Like, I can honor that and respect that and also know how to move through it without bypassing things, without feeling through it. Because let's be honest, my friend, when we're moving through change, it's like when we're in it, we don't want to deal with all the things. We're just like, I'll deal with that later. I have to get through this. And I have learned how to get through this and still process what needs to be processed. And that, my friend, is the biggest gift you can give yourself because nothing ever stays the same. Nothing ever stays the same. Everything is always changing, right? And so when you learn to adapt through those things, my friend, you are uneffable. So let's talk about these aspects. When we combine them, the message that I really want you to come through with or to leave this video with is the future you are being called toward is going to feel uncertain. It's probably going to feel rocky. You know this, and you are being asked to lead yourself through it consciously, to be able to be aware of like, I know what I'm doing. I know the belief that is leading this. I know what my next step is instead of this like reacting from the old pattern, being impulsive or avoiding, right? We love to avoid things. This new moon is holding the vision, regulating your nervous system, integrating your identity, and moving anything that is not part of that away. That's conscious leadership, my friend. So, before you take action with this particular new moon, I have something I want to share with you, a practice that you can do when you start to notice that old pattern kind of coming in. So, my favorite thing is to put the hand on your heart and one on your belly. My friend, this is just this alone, it's what I anchor in to my body. So you'll probably hear me say this all the time. Let's place one hand on your heart, one on your belly, and just take a nice deep breath in. This is grounding you first off. It's bringing you back. It's also bringing you conscious, right? Bringing you to the present moment. So we can often get lost in all of the thoughts, especially during an air season like Aquarius. So even just doing this simple thing, touch is also really good for our bodies. And so just doing this simple thing can just feel like a nice deep breath. One of the things I would invite you to do is to do this. Take a nice deep breath in and let it go 3 times. It's always a good anchor to just anchor in that breath and allowing yourself to come into the present moment. And then ask yourself, is this danger? Is this danger or is this growth? Is this danger or is this growth? And allow, my friend, allow yourself to feel what it is. Do you feel it in your belly? Do you feel it in your heart? Do you feel it in the back? Do you feel it in your mind? Do you feel it in your legs? Like, where in your body do you feel it? And feel whatever it is. Like, oh, I'm I know this is growth, but this feels like danger. That's beautiful, my friend. That awareness, what is the first step of healing? Is awareness. We've got to be aware of whatever it is that we are thinking or feeling. Your body, it knows before the mind does, right? And so it needs to know that it is supported. So when you say, okay, I know that this is growth, but this feels like danger, your body is like, oh, okay, you get it. You get that this is danger, right? You're connecting to that part of yourself. And then you can, work with your mind to be like, okay, I know that this is growth. I know that this feels scary. So what do I need to put in place to feel supported? What do I need to do? Who do I need to ask for support? Like, what can I do to help support me through this? Now, when you're ready to set your new intentions for this new moon or this cycle, here's something that I'm going to invite you to frame it under. And that is, I am ready to build whatever it is you're ready to build, even though it stretches me, even though my sense of security feels threatened, because I trust my capacity to regulate, to integrate, and to lead myself through it. So, simple way to say this is I'm ready to build, and I'm going to use mine because this is my new moon intention. I'm ready to build community, even though it stretches my sense of security, because I trust my capacity to regulate myself, to integrate, and to lead myself through this. My friend, you can ask yourself a few questions to help you figure out what it is you're ready to build. Or if you already know that, great. If you don't, here are a few questions to maybe help you also come through with some things. And that is, where is my growth, or where is growth either pushing up against an old identity or rocking my identity? Where am I craving something new, but still resisting that uncomfortability or that discomfort? Like, where am I wanting to still stay in my comfort zone as I think about growing a community or building a community or finally stepping into the movement that I know I've been called for a very long time to step into, but I've been so nervous about it? As I think about that, right, I know that there is some discomfort there. I also am going to look at, where am I still leading from old survival patterns? Because again, what got me here is not going to get me there. And I know that. And I want to be very clear on what those things are, so that as I set this intention, I know what I'm looking at and I know how I'm moving forward. My friend, this is exactly why conscious leadership requires rhythm. This is why we seek our natural cycles, like the lunar cycle, like what astrology helps bring in for us. My friend, you can't sustainably expand without support and structure. You need that support and structure. And so if you are in a leadership position, or you are a leader who is in transition right now, someone who is building something meaningful, somebody who is stepping into their next level, wanting more stability, more confidence, and consistency, I am opening Sacred CEO Collective in March, and it is a room for women who want to grow without burning out, who want to lead without losing themselves, and who want to ground their expansion. My friend, if you're feeling a call in here, that is your sign. Feel free to send me a DM on Instagram if you want more info. But regardless of any of that, my friend, this new moon is asking you to ground and to integrate your growth. My friend, until next time, remember to keep shining your unique light.